Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. Do you want to learn more about English? If it's a yes, then please subscribe to this channel. Or you can enroll at our school, which is the Hotel Campus Language Center. And this has been Teacher Malu bringing to you another lecture video on the topic there was or were, there has or have been, and there will be. So are you ready? And so let's get started. As you may remember, you already watched maybe the video about there is and there are. And the past form for those two phrases is the there was or there were. Now we can use these two phrases when we want to talk about situations in the past, or if we think something or someone existed or not. Maybe you are confused why I wrote in here not. Because actually, we can use these phrases when we talk about negative sentences. As I said, we can use there was or there were when we want to make positive, negative, or questions. So now let's have the positive form. And I have in here some example sentences on the board. Now we must remember that the noun is so important because we have to check if it's singular or plural. Singular refers to one subject or noun, and then plural refers to two or more. So in here, guys, we have countable and uncountable. So let's have the first example sentence. There was an apple on the table. So we use was in here. Why? It's because an apple is just one. And then, when we want to have the plural form, then we can change it with another noun. We can say, for example, if we refer to the same sentence, we can have it, there were apples. And then in here, I have another example sentence. There were pieces of paper on the floor yesterday. So as you can see, pieces of paper, we can count. So it's an example of a countable noun, and it's plural. Okay? Then we can also have uncountable noun. What are examples of uncountable noun? We have time, money, cheese, and more. And in here, I have got the word sugar. So we can say, there was sugar on the table. Okay? So I think you already understood about the positive form. And now in here on the board, we have the negative forms. I wrote the same example sentences. We can say that these are negative because we have got the word not. But I am just using the contracted form, the shorter one, that's why it's wasn't, instead of was not, but both are correct. So we can say, there wasn't an apple on the table. It means that an apple didn't exist. And then we have got the plural form, there weren't pieces of paper on the floor yesterday. So, the pieces of paper didn't exist. And for another example, we can use, as I told you, an uncountable noun. There wasn't sugar on the table. So it's negative, and we are using was or was not because in here, we have got an uncountable noun. This is the last form, which is about making questions with there was and there were. In here, I have some example, and this is very easy. It's easy. Why? We just switch the position. Was or were come before the word there. And then, it is followed by a noun. Like in the first example, was there an apple on the table? An apple, so that is why we are using was. Were there pieces of paper on the floor yesterday? We have got pieces of paper on the floor, so we can use were. Okay? for the uncountable, we have was there sugar on the table. Again, sugar is an uncountable noun, so we can use was. Okay, so don't forget the position of the be verb, was, or were. And now we will have the phrases there, has, or have been. We are going to use these phrases when we are talking about situations that started in the past and that lasted up to now or at the present time. It is easy. It is because if you want to use there has been, you must use a singular or an uncountable noun. Well, there have been is only for plural nouns. As you can see, I have example sentences on the board, and we can make 3 possible sentences. Like we can have the positive, negative, and the question form. So in here we have the first example. There has been a strange sound in that house. It's singular and it's an uncountable noun. We have a strange sound. Positive, and then the second is an example of a negative sentence. There hasn't, because of the word not, been any strange sound in that house. And for the last, this is a question. Again, you have to switch the word there to the verb has. Has there been any strange sound in that house? Okay, so it's so easy. And there will be is simply the future form of there is. But we must remember that when we want to use there will be, it is just for a description about something in the future. Yes, and I just said that we can use again this phrase when we want to make 3 forms of sentences. We can have positive, the negative, and the question forms. Okay, so in here we can have there will be a playground in this area. And remember, when you want to use the negative, which is won't be, you can also have will not. It's just the same. And for the question form, we have will there be a playground in this area? We can move the verb will in the beginning. Just switch the words there and will to make a question form. So I hope you understand today's lecture. Thank you so much and goodbye.